Hello, everyone. Good morning, wherever you're dialing in from. It's just on 11 o'clock here in Toronto, and I want to kick off our webinar on time. And we've got a really cool topic. It's been pretty hot topic. Less than 1% of all online leads closed in 2020. And we're going to talk about the better way to approach your business. If less than 1% of online leads are closing, then what can we do? What can we do instead of online leads, or how do we convert more of them? And we've got some ideas today for you. So I'm going to jump right in. I am Shannon. I'm the sales director here at IXACT Contact, and my passion is not just promoting and selling IXACT Contact's CRM software, but also in educating and teaching and providing ideas that are going to help you as real estate agents and brokers run a better business, build a stronger business, and ultimately over time have a better career in real estate. So I'll pop my contact information back up at the end. So you feel free to reach out to me or to our team here at IXACT Contact, and we'd be happy to chat with you about your challenges in your business and how IXACT Contact might be able to help. And we'll get into some of that today. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we go too much further. During the webinar, we do have my colleague Julio on the line with us, and Julio will be answering questions live. I will do my best to pop into the Q&A box as well. And if there's any questions about the system, if it's not working, the GoToWebinar system rather, just let Julio know, and he should be able to send you any instructions to make sure that that things are working correctly on your end. I know that everybody always asks, is it being recorded? It is, and they will be sending out the recording after the webinar as soon as our marketing team has that ready and up on our channel. We'll send out the link to the recording. Just while we're on the subject of the questions box, everybody should find it in your webinar dashboard panel, and give a little quick hello to Julio. Let us know where you're dialing in from. Always interesting to know. I know that this webinar was promoted to Florida realtors, but also across the country. So it's in partnership with Florida realtors, but it is available to everyone, of course, across the country. Hello, I'm seeing Ocala, Florida, lots of Florida, Washington, Muskoka, hello, fellow Canadian, Juno Beach, Cape Coral, Tampa, hello, everybody, New Jersey. So again, it's sort of across the country, Oklahoma, West Palm Beach. Oh, I love West Palm Beach. And Mount Elgin, hello, Jennifer, fellow Canadian. So perfect. Looks like we're all experts on using the questions box. And so if there's questions throughout the presentation today, let Julio know, and he'll jump in there as quickly as he can to help you out. So that said, let's jump in. And I'm hoping that we don't take the full hour. I'm going to give you back, 10, 15 minutes of your day that you may not have been expecting to have. Everybody likes free time. So I will do my best to wrap in under an hour, but if there's tons of questions, of course, we'll use that time to answer them. So the goal of this webinar is to talk about the importance of CRM to the success of your business. And directly in line with the webinar topic of less than 1% of online leads closed, there is a better way. We're going to talk to that from the perspective of CRM and how you can build a better, stronger business by doing some things differently. Why you should care that this is going to be success, it's kind of obvious, not to bury the lead or anything, but you should care because ultimately it will help drive success in your business. And we're going to speak to why now is a perfect time to take action. And I'm going to talk about agent personas. Some of you may be familiar with T360, real estate consulting firm. They've put together some agent personas, and I want you all to think about that and what category you fall into. And in relation to those agent personas, there's a key shift that's occurring in the real estate CRM space. And just to give you guys a heads up, this is an educational webinar. I will not be demoing IXACT Contact today. We're just overviewing the topics and ideas, and we're going to brainstorm some things and how you can work better and smarter and grow a bigger business without actually working harder. If you would like an overview of IXACT Contact, we would be happy to provide you with that personal tour at a later date. Just reach out to us after the webinar, and we can answer any questions and let you know how to access a free tour, a live tour, or even get started with the free trial. So back on topic. Of the 200 million online leads generated last year, 1% closed. Now, there's a caveat to this, of course. If there were 2 million leads, but there's only 500 some odd thousand people actually moving, then obviously there's an exponential problem here, that there are way more leads than the number of people that on average move every year. So, you know, the numbers are a little skewed. And if you've ever done any online lead gen, if you've purchased leads from an online lead gen source, then you know that not all of those leads are good data. So we're looking at 200 million in the big funnel, the big bucket of leads. The challenge is that just 1% are closing. And that close rate should be higher, even if some of those leads, you know, are just sort of the looky-loos, even if some of those leads are somewhat bogus because the person just wanted to get past the form, the close rate should be higher. And I want to speak to why it's not, right? Like we would expect it to be higher, but why isn't it? And it's because converting online leads requires a certain mindset, a certain discipline, if you will, the ability to take massive rejection, right? If you're going to sit down and you're going to make 100 cold calls, right? Think about like, you know, people in sales at, you know, different enterprise levels, you know, whether they're software systems or they're selling, you know, some other kind of product, they sit down and they cold call. And there's a certain mindset that's required to get through that list of calls with people hanging up on you, leaving a million voicemails, people that say, I don't want to talk to you, people that are just, you know, not interested in what you have to say. That's a hard thing to do. And the reality is the vast majority of real estate agents simply don't have that mindset. And that's not a negative thing. I'm going to get into why. So it comes down to these agent personas that I'm going to jump into next. 85% of real estate agents are simply not wired to chase strangers and talk to strangers and try to convince strangers to talk to you. And yet so many real estate agents have focused on online lead gen. I can't tell you how many agents I talk to in a week that say, well, where do my leads come from? How do I get leads? I need more leads. I need lead gen. And I want to shift that focus to how, again, you can just work smarter, not harder. You don't have to chase strangers to build your business. And obviously the problem with this is it's not working, right? Chasing strangers, chasing, you know, different lead sources isn't working. And as a result, you are all losing business and you're out of touch with a key resource for warm leads. I'm going to pause on that and jump into our agent personas. The agent personas, again, these were set up by T360, real estate consulting firm. Travis Saxton used these slides in another presentation. We're borrowing from Travis, thank you. What we're looking at are different sort of key personality types. And you'll see there's prospector and converter on the left, the networker and marketer on the right. And the networker and marketer, you'll notice they network, they relationship build, they get involved in their community. I was on a webinar yesterday with an agent, a broker actually, who noted that he'd been in a room with a, you know, an agent had stood up and she'd been, you know, 60 years in the business. And she said, I am the expert in my 12 block radius. I've been marketing to that 12 block radius for the last 40 years. I go to PTA meetings, I go to community hall meetings, I do the town hall, I'm involved in every community event possible. Nobody buys or sells a house in my neighborhood without calling me first. And that's the networker, right? You're building that expertise in your neighborhood and you build this big sphere around you of people that know you. Marketers, you develop expert knowledge about something. And again, sort of right in line with the networker, if you develop an expert knowledge about your neighborhood, about something that's local. You build an identity or a brand. Another story from another webinar yesterday on this same topic that came up, and it's that dare to be different. Do something that sets you apart, right? Your brand is not just your brokerage. It's not just your logo. Your brand is who you are. It's how people identify you and remember you. There was an agent he's from Idaho, and he had created this whole brand because he'd been a cow farmer. And he painted his signposts with, dairy farm cow, black and white. He painted his car, he put eyelashes on it, and he was the realtor that moves you. Don't call anybody, think of us, don't call the other agents kind of messaging. And people would call his office. They couldn't remember his name, but they wanted to talk to the cow guy. I want to talk to that cow agent, because there was something memorable. Now, not everybody can do that, right? Not everybody has that sort of big standout thing, but do something that in your sphere of influence sets you apart and makes you memorable. That's that marketer. So on the other side, prospectors and converters, the prospecting habits, the phone skills, the appointment setting, super organized, able to sit down and bang through a list of cold calls. And that's where you're seeing, again, these little bubbles on the corners here: direct selling, cold leads, indirect selling, and warm leads, where networkers and marketers are geared towards the warm leads, and your prospectors and converters are geared towards the cold leads. The challenges that each of these different personality types are also different, right? So you have the key practices, and then because of those key practices and the type of leads that you're targeting, there's different challenges and different requirements to then overcome those challenges. And what each of these personas needs in their business to make them successful. So again, looking at the prospector and converter, you need a data system, something that's going to feed you leads, whether it's, Red-X because you're doing, FSBOs, or you're doing expireds. You need a CRM and follow-up system. You need a direct mail system because you got to be, plastering the neighborhood with your newsletters and flyers on a consistent basis. If we jump to the converter, you need a budget, an advertiser, right? An advertising budget, because you have to be promoting to get those leads coming back to you. So it's all about generating, and then systematizing to convert. But again, we're looking at cold leads, people that see your advertising and respond to it. The networker and marketer are a little different. A networker and marketer, they need a CRM system. They need something that will help them keep in touch, right? Email marketing, drip email systems. The marketer, maybe sending out an offer with a free market report. Maybe they have a blog on their website, things that are positioning them as an expert, and always feeding that information back to the people in their network. Again, time, friends, social media, and things that are hyper local. And we're dealing with warm leads because you're sending that message of I'm the expert here. You're getting the referrals, and that's where those warm leads are coming from. People that are reaching out to you because they've heard through the grapevine from their friends, from whomever, that you're the expert in their neighborhood. So I hope I'm setting this up clearly, that there's sort of two sides here, the left and the right, the prospector, the converter, the networker, the marketer. And how does that relate to CRM directly? Well, the right CRM for the prospector and converter, if you notice, on that previous slide, all four need some kind of CRM. But the CRM that's right for the prospector or converter is the wrong CRM for the networker and marketer, and vice versa. There's different key elements to the different types of CRM that these different personas will need and use. And what that breaks down to from T360, 85% of agents actually fall into that networker and marketer category, the right-hand side. So that type of CRM that helps them nurture and send things that are local, and have a blog post and a website that makes them an expert in their community. And you're communicating with those warm leads and managing that information. over time, just making yourself an expert on your local community. And that means just 15% of real estate agents are prospectors and converters. And it comes down to, a lot of us enter this business in real estate, not necessarily because we love sales, right? You love people. You love, the transaction side of it. You like, putting someone in their new home. It's a feel-good business. You like helping someone sell their home for more than asking, right? Obviously, we're a little bit sales, right? Because we like that competitive spirit. We like, if you listed at this, I want to get more. But at the same time, it's the feel good aspect. It's that you did something for a person, a family, that makes this business so unique. And that's why that right hand side is it's so much more heavily weighted on networking and marketing and building a business by referral. So why are so many agents and brokerages feeling that they need to invest in lead gen when lead gen solutions that are driving all of these leads, when less than 1% of them are actually closing? So what does that mean, right? We're shifting. It means that brokerages are taking a stand on it to help their agents. Individual agents are bucking that trend of I need more, more, just that more leads doesn't necessarily mean more business, but that's been the mentality over, the last, several years span of time. And I think especially this year, where we've all been limited in who we can see face to face, we've all had to shift how we do our business, how we manage our communication with the people in our network, with getting new business. It sort of created this big shift. It was already happening, but COVID and 2020 have really pushed it out of its box. And what it means, and it's this simple, it's a big shift, but it's simple. Get back to basics. Go back to your database. Go back to keeping in touch with that database. How many of you do something to follow up with every one of your past clients on a regular basis? How many of you reach out to your friends and family to remind them what you do in your business? Keep in touch and strengthen relationships. It will help you grow a profitable referral and repeat-based business. And it will get you back to using the core technology that will drive and support this approach to real estate, which is CRM. Just on the subject of back to growing a profitable referral and repeat-based business, and I don't know if she's joined us on our webinar today. Mari, if you are on the webinar, shoot Julia a little note in the Q&A. I've got it popped up on my other screen here as well. I was speaking with an agent who has built a long-term business solely on referrals. She's actually semi-retired, works like maybe 20 hours a week, and she's still making a six-figure income. And it's because she has been religious about her CRM. She has been religious in her marketing. She does not do something once and say, well, that didn't work. She does it over and over and over again. And hey, if we switch it up, if we have to switch it up because it's actually not working, then we have the proof that it's not working. But what she said about her business is that she has about 500 people that she nurtures, that she's keeping in touch with consistently. But it's 500 people that over the course of her career, she has met personally. So it's not a list of 500 people. It is a list of 500 people who know, like, and trust her. And that list just keeps building upon itself because the people that know, like, and trust you will send you the people that they know, like, and trust. So it's this creating this great circle of just a perfect network for yourself. But you have to do the work, and you can systematize a lot of it. I'll get into that in a few minutes. We can make it easy, right? We don't want you to work harder. We want you to work smarter, of course. We want it to be easy for you to do and to keep up with so that you're not sort of falling away from it and then trying to catch back up and falling away and catch back up. There's a consistency that we can help create with a good CRM. I just want to highlight a couple of stats. And this one in particular, the Wave Group CRM effectiveness study. Now this study did poll brokers about the use of CRM to their agents and whether they were providing one to their brokerage, whether the agents were just sort of left to find their own, etc. But one of the key questions that they asked brokers was, what do you believe are the key benefits of CRM platforms for your agents? And 79% strengthen client relationships. 73% get organized and have a system of record. 72% qualify, nurture, and keep leads in a pipeline. Not one of these things says get more leads. It's about strengthening their client relationships. And that means, from the time they're a prospect through being a client and then a past client, and keeping everything organized so that that is easy to do, all the way over to the other side where 41% said it helps them get referrals. So really, helping agents become more productive, helping their agents increase repeat and referral business, supporting strong sales habits. Again, a lot of agents get into real estate, and I'm sure a lot of you can speak to this yourself. You didn't necessarily get into real estate because you thought, oh, I'm a great salesperson, I want to get into sales, right? You got into real estate. If you wanted to get into sales, you could sell anything. You got into real estate most likely because you like that feel-good experience of helping a person, helping a family, and of that sort of personal touch involved in selling real estate that is unique to this business. And ultimately, brokerages wanted to help their agents manage stress levels. If you're organized, if you have referrals coming back to you, you feel good about your business, you've got more free time because your system is doing things for you, and it's just that much less stressful. So what can we do to work with our list? And I want to say, start with the basics, right? We say get back to basics, follow up with your database, connect with everybody on your A list. So you're going to organize your database, and at a minimum, you should have an A list and a B list. And it's like the 80-20 rule. 20% of your database is your A list, and they will drive 80% of your business over the course of your career. They will help you with your business. So your A list are the 20% of your contacts that are going to include things like past clients, important referral sources, hot prospects, high quality long-term prospects. I was speaking with a broker recently, and she's run her whole business based on referral. She's actually just started her own new brokerage called Real Estate by Referral. And she said, who would you share the news that you're getting married, that you're having a baby, that you're engaged, that you're having some kind of big life event? Who would you share that with? Start with that. So if you're new to the business, or if you're just kind of disorganized and haven't really nailed it down yet, then start there. Start with, who would you share those key personal life events with? That's who you should be sharing your business with, right? They will celebrate with you no matter what it is. They know you, they like you, they trust you, they love you, and they will help you and support you in your business. But you got to tell them what you're doing. If we don't communicate with our family, with our friends, with our sort of network, then they can't do anything back for you. And you can connect in many ways, right? We can phone them, text them, email them, connect with them on social media, send them a little message, get on a Zoom call, create a buzz around yourself and your business. You can send a letter, a handwritten note. Hopefully we can get back to doing things like pop-bys soon. And the topics of these can be, again, just so simple. Just, I'm saying hi, I'm reconnecting. Send them current information for your local market. You can send them tips on supporting local businesses, right? That's been a huge hot topic this year. It's something we always want to do, but it's one of those things that, again, this year is just support your local businesses, make sure they can survive, make sure they can stay open and continue to serve the area. You can provide advice on the purchase or sale of a property, but again, all tied into being an expert in not just real estate, but home ownership and your local area. And directly in line with this, connecting with everyone in your list, work on yourself at the same time. Work on your attitude, your relationships, your skills, your physical and mental health. And you're like an athlete, right? Every one of us every day needs to be in peak performance for when we're doing our business. So when the season opens, and season opens every single day. So keep yourself up to par. Don't let yourself get bogged down in it. When you're feeling that stress, take a step back and just go back to the basic things. Am I organized? Do I have a pipeline? Who am I communicating with today? And when you practice those things, when you take training, get coaching, eat better, exercise, all of the things that are outside of that direct, blinders that we have on for our business, you'll be ready to rock and roll as business, just continues to surge back. And ultimately, a person with a positive attitude, a happy personality, great confidence in what you do, and that's what it's all about, right? You can tell people just about anything. If you say it with confidence, it makes you credible. And when you're doing that for your local market, your local neighborhood, when you're sending out a list of, hey, small businesses in our area, here's a list of restaurants, to the new home buyer that just moved into the neighborhood, you're setting yourself apart because you've gone above and beyond. That's outside of selling, helping them buy a home. You're helping them get to know their neighbors and their neighborhood and what is out there for them. So again, just bringing that forward with enthusiasm makes a huge difference. And it's that little tidbit of dare to be different. And I'm not going to tell you any more stories, but there's so many great stories. Talk to senior agents, talk to coaches and trainers, and get their feel good stories, because I bet they've done something that seemed like it was so small to them, right? Just that little thing that they did for a client or for a prospect that just made that person so happy with your service that they're now more than a client, they're your friend, and they're going to tell everybody they know that you're the awesome realtor that did X for them. If you want to know about real estate, you should talk to this person. And those little things that you do that are just that outside of the box set you apart, and being different is what makes you that much more memorable. So I'm going to get back to CRM. All of these best practices and how we can put them in place ties into the topic of CRM. Why do you need one? Well, it is a tool of top agents. And there was a study done by Active Rain, it's the Rich Agent, Poor Agent study, that showed that using a real estate CRM was found to be key to the success of top performing agents. Things like email marketing, particularly things like an email newsletter, again, that consistency was integral to the success of those top performing agents. And it looked at things like, what kind of car they drive, what kind of CRM they use or don't use, and all kinds of other factors. But it came down that CRM was one of those key items that the agents that were most successful were definitely using. Another study that I want to highlight, and a couple of other stats. It is a key to a referrals-based business, and here's why. NAR did a home seller profile study, and one of the questions they asked people was, how did you find your agent? And it came down that 3 times the number who found their agent from any other source found their agent through a referral. So you did all your marketing and your billboards and you've got your ads going out, but it was exponentially higher, the number of people who had gone with a referred agent, right? If you're for your friend, your family member, someone in your network says, you got to talk to this agent, they did a great job for me, here's all the awesome things they did, go talk to them about buying or selling your home, you're probably going to look into it, right? You've got that credible person behind you. So every time you serve a customer in that way, they come back to you and they bring their friends in tow because they want their friend to have the same great experience they had, right? So, and surround yourself with people like that, with people that want to help others. Part of that same study, another one of the questions asked was, would you use your realtor again or recommend them to a friend? And 85% of homeowners said, yeah, I would absolutely use my agent again or recommend them to a friend. But less than 25% actually do. And I heard a new stat on this yesterday. If you look just at the repeat business part of it, who used their realtor again for their second or third transaction down the road, right? You helped them buy their starter home, they upgraded, they called somebody else. It was like 7%. So 85% of homeowners said, I had a great experience with my real estate agent. I would definitely call them again when we move, and we're planning to probably, in 5 years as our family expands and we outgrow this house. Great. Less than 7% called the same realtor. And I know you all know why. Feel free to throw it in the Q&A. They forgot your name. It's not their fault. The bottom line here is we have to stay in touch to stay top of mind with past clients and important referral sources so that they do come back to you. Yes, Jeff, no follow-up. You followed up, you did a great job of getting that prospect into your funnel, and you did a great job of helping them find their beautiful home. Maybe you even sent them a list of restaurants, because they just moved in and they don't have anything in their kitchen yet, so that they could go out for those first couple nights for dinner or order takeout, and you helped them, but then you stopped following up. Don't stop following up. And having good systems in place, like a CRM, will help you to do that. Things like an email newsletter. It's not just meant for your prospects. Your clients should be getting it. And it's those past clients that will forward it to everybody else and make sure that your information is being passed around through your local network. Other benefits to using a real estate CRM? You will never feel uncomfortable again calling past clients because you don't know what to talk about, because you have little tidbits of information about them over time. So even if you haven't talked to someone in 6 months, you can call them up and say, hey, hockey just finally started up again. How about those Leafs? Toronto girl here. But you get where I'm going. You have a little tidbit of information, you know something about this person. And every time one of your contacts gives you a tidbit of information, you should be storing that, not just mentally. Put it in their contact profile. Put a little note in their contact profile so that you can pull up that information at a later date and use it to continue to strengthen that relationship. The reality is we're all a little bit self-centered, right? We like to be talked to about ourselves. So when you call and you ask, oh yeah, wasn't it Nancy's birthday last week? Yeah, what did you guys do? Is it 60 this year? Oh my God. So you're again just showing interest. Maybe it's a life event. Maybe it's their move-in anniversary of the house you helped them buy. You can bet that nobody except their mortgage agent's following up on anything to do with the date they moved into their house. So it's just creating that positive vibe around how you feel about your clients, your past clients, and ultimately that translates into how they talk about you to their network. When you're using a real estate CRM, you can still have a life while you're building a really profitable business. Again, I go back to the agent that I was speaking with recently who has a 6-figure income and is essentially part-time. She's semi-retired, but her business is still running itself because it comes back to her. If you do a good job setting up these practices and automations and your marketing, then your business can almost run itself, right? You still have to do the work when the business comes in, but you have so much more free time because you have those systems in place running that generation for you. You'll feel organized and in control of your business. And of course, that's a big stress reliever. And ultimately, you can build a business that you could actually sell to fund your own retirement, right? And that same agent knows who she's passing that along to in her business. So don't just fade away. Realtors have this tendency to sort of fade away at the end of their career. But if you build a business and you keep it in an organized way and your marketing is already all set up, you're selling something that another agent can easily walk into and take over, and you can make that introduction, right? I was speaking with another agent recently here in our local market, and she's older. She's been in the business for a long time, and has recently taken on a partner who's fairly new in the business, has a few years, definitely an expert in the local area. They definitely have alignment in how they think about the world and real estate and people and relationship building. And as they work together, that newer agent's going to be able to take over the business. And the agent that's worked so hard to build those relationships won't just fade away. There's someone there to step into those shoes. So, think about that in the long term. I mean, investment agents do it, mortgage agents do it. It's very common in the sort of financial sector, and realtors can do it too, and we're seeing it more and more often, but it does have to be something that's been set up and organized. So, of course, we're talking sort of CRM in general and practices and things that you can do to build a better, stronger relationship-based business and get away from the online leads, right? If less than 1% of them are closing, if it's not your personality to call strangers, then don't do it. Use the right systems that will help you build your business in a way that fits your personality, your aptitudes, and your skills that you can just then continue to hone. So obviously we're here from IXACT Contact. We're talking about IXACT Contact CRM and why IXACT Contact. And I want to talk a little bit more about exactly what IXACT Contact is. We are a real estate CRM that gives you all the tools to manage contact information, keep in touch, communications, your active business, your listings and your buyers, and all of the transaction items that you need to keep your business running. An online presence with a website. It's all in one system. It's easy to use, and there's automation to it. So things like your monthly e-newsletter, your move-in anniversaries, your birthdays, you can automate not only the reminders, but also the e-cards that go out. So you might get a reminder, you might make a phone call, but the e-card is going to go out on that person's special day. And again, it's just reminding them that you're thinking of them. And having a good CRM in place will help you to save time, ultimately be better organized, and keep in touch more consistently with your clients, your leads, your prospects, and you'll generate more referrals and repeat business because you're keeping in better touch. So the system includes a robust real estate specific CRM. There's no other version of IXACT Contact. We are all real estate focused, and the system's been built with key items for the needs of realtors. So things like a business pipeline that help you build your own funnel. Things like active business management, where you can input your transactions and have checklists for the items to keep you organized day to day. And the system is for both agents and teams. And we do, of course, have a brokerage program as well. There's an email marketing platform built right in. You don't have to integrate or link up with something else. It's built right in, and we include a monthly email newsletter. We write that for you every single month. The content is brand new, fresh every month. You can customize it as much as you want. I can honestly say about 90% of our customers literally set it and forget it. The content is good, and they don't have to think about it. So you've got that consistency going out with items of value positioning you as an expert in all things home ownership. The system includes an agent website. It's beautiful. We just launched new designs earlier at the beginning of last year. So beautiful agent website designs. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to think about building your own website and designing it and creating content. There are pages and pages of content already built into that website. We also offer a social media marketing platform called Social Stream, and it will post tier 1 content, so news and magazine articles, to your social media, and there's a lead capture pop-up to it. So again, if people are following you on social media, you still have that warm lead feel, right? If they're following you on social media, they found you in some way, they're local, they're not just cold leads coming in, from an online lead source or a lead gen company. They were in your network in some way, and you just need to capture their contact information back to your CRM. We have an awesome concierge service that gets you set up and running fast. So you can schedule a one-on-one call with a member of our team, and the system is up and running like within that hour. You can send your file to us, your contact file, we'll upload it for you. Just make it super easy so that a lot of these key items are already working for you. And if you are looking for a CRM for your brokerage, or you know that your brokerage is looking for a CRM to offer, or you think your brokerage should be looking for a CRM that they provide to you, then we do actually have corporate programs for brokerages. It also includes a recruiting CRM to help with the not just the retention side, but also the recruitment. So there's whole lists of features that I can get into here, but the key idea that IXACT Contact envelops is everything we've just talked about. It's a CRM for the networker, the marketer, those key practices of nurturing over time, where you're generating leads by referral, where you're sending out communication on a regular basis that always has your information, your brand, that you can customize and add hyper local things, and where you can also store your contacts and build on the information you know about those people, so that over time you just always have these robust contact profiles where, again, if you need to call someone and it's been 6 months, it's easy to start the conversation, because even if you can't really remember, your CRM remembers for you. It's just a matter of taking that little bit of effort to keep it organized and keep it up to date. So all kinds of amazing features wrapped into one package. And we call it next gen CRM. We're always sort of thinking forward and thinking out of the box. The easy to use interface is one of the things that sets it apart. There's a lot of CRMs out there, and trust me, I've used a bunch in my career, but having a dashboard, an interface that is laid out in a way where there's enough white space that you can read things easily, where you can navigate easily, it just makes it that much easier to use. There's a ton of marketing automation. So in addition to things like the e-newsletter, there are drip email campaigns, and those go out automatically. There's, again, the email marketing for your birthday and move-in anniversary follow-ups. And those are, again, those are sort of marketing items, right? They're a personal item, but they're also tying back to you and your business, because your branding and your signature is on everything. And again, I'm not going to go deep into the features today. That's a different webinar. That's a demo webinar. But I do want to highlight just how easy it is to get set up, because there's a setup wizard, our concierge setup service, our ongoing support that makes sure that it's easy for you to get into the system and use it. You really, I don't think we'll find better value elsewhere. And I've broken it down into the different pieces that are included in IXACT Contact, and what you'd likely pay if you went to specific companies to find, okay, I want a real estate CRM, and then I need a monthly email newsletter. I got to go find a company that can do that for me. I need an email marketing platform to deliver that e-newsletter, and I'd like it to have campaign reporting so I can see who opened my emails. A website, depending on how customized it is, I would say you're probably in that at least $20 to $100 ballpark. So you're looking at 90 to 230, and that may be on the conservative side. IXACT Contact's platform is $33 a month with all of those things wrapped in. Now that's annual billing. You can do month-to-month billing, and it's $39. Or, and rather, there's never any contract. So even with annual billing, there's no contract. You're not locked in at any point. But we know that it's going to be easy to use and set up, and that's all part of the service that we're offering with our concierge setup service. And that's the biggest challenge, right? Is you start a free trial of something, and then you're looking at that free trial going, well, I don't have time for that. And it never happens. And that's where we come in. We want to spend that 1 hour with you, and we don't want to do it for you. We want to spend the hour with you and show you and help you and get you navigating the system, because over time, ultimately, you do have to update your contact records. It's not just about, sort of uploading a list initially and then letting it go. The purpose of this network marketing and this sphere of influence communication is to keep yourself in touch and keep those contacts updated, right? Their details will change. Maybe their email address changes. And if you just leave it sitting, then that email address becomes out of date and they lose communication with you. And 7 years later, they sell your house and you drive by it and it's somebody else's sign. Oh. And sometimes I talk to agents and that's what's made them call us, is they literally drove past a house that they had sold, or they had, brought the buyer into, and it's somebody else's sign on the lawn X number of years later. And that's just the most frustrating feeling, is losing out on that repeat business for such a simple thing as keeping in touch. So again, we want to make it easy for you to use, not complicated. Get it set up quickly so that you're seeing the business value right away. And we've got a ton of additional learning resources. There's an online help guide. There's chat with our support team. You can phone them 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. So, it's unlimited ongoing support. And I, of course, have a special offer for anybody on our webinar today who would like to give it a try. Your first 60 days are free. Normally it's 5 weeks, so about a month. And you can sign up at exactcontact.com/webinar. I know Julio's been doing a great job in the Q&A, and I'm just going to highlight my last little item here, is that if you are a new agent, because I did see a couple of you noting that, hey, I don't have a huge list yet, my A list, B list is pretty small because I'm new to this business, and that's okay. We also recognize how tough it is to build your list, get yourself out there, tell the people that if you were going to get married, if you were engaged, if you were going to have a baby, who would you tell? Those are the people to share your business with, and they will help you build your network. And if you're a rookie agent, in your first year, your first 6 months of Exact Contact are free. So you can use the same link to sign up and then call us and we'll extend your free trial to 6 months. So I'm going to just pop back to that Q&A for a second. I'm just over the 45-minute mark, but I'm going to give you back at least 10 minutes of your day, because I know we did book the full hour, but I didn't think we would need it. A couple of people have asked if there's a recording. The answer is yes. We will be sending out the recording as soon as our marketing team gets it posted. There will be an email sent out just saying thank you for registering, and we'll have a link to the recording. Oh, there's our new agent. Not a huge database, and how can you bring in those leads? So yeah, exactly what I said, Noelle. Just being able to share what you're doing, share your new business venture with those people, and they'll be excited with you, right? If they'd be excited that you had a big life event, this is a life event, and it's something to share with those people, and they will help you spread that word. And once you've shared it with those people, continue doing so, right? It's consistency over time. Like anything, if you tell someone something once and then never mention it again, it kind of fades from their memory. So it's that continual reminder that you're an expert in all things home ownership and real estate. And then when their friend's cousin's sister at a barbecue says, hey, yeah, we were thinking about moving back to the neighborhood. We've been downtown for a while and we think we'd like to get back out here in the suburbs. But yeah, having trouble just, getting our search started. Hey, I know a realtor, is what your friend's cousin's aunt's sister is going to say to that person. And they're going to send them your email that they just got in their inbox last week. So just, again, tying it all back to where to start from. And for those of you that have a more established database, obviously that's going to be just building on what you've already created for yourself and continuing those practices, and getting back to those practices of following up with the past clients. And don't be afraid to ask for their referrals. Don't be afraid to remind them of the great service you provided them. And that you'll provide that same service, that their friends, their family members, their network are in good hands with you. Those of you asking for samples of the e-newsletters, we will download all of the comments from the webinar afterwards. And if there's anything that you had asked that we weren't able to do during the webinar today, a member of the team will reach back out to you and follow up. So again, I encourage you, if you don't have a CRM today, if you aren't doing a great job following up, or if you have a CRM and you're not using it well because you just don't like it, either go back and try to use it. And if it still doesn't work for you, you still don't like it, you still can't figure it out, try IXACT Contact. First 60 days are free. I'm going to flip to my last slide just to say thank you all for your time today. It's much appreciated. I know, there's just so many Zooms and so many meetings going on that looking at, your CRM, your contact management system is often on the back burner. So I appreciate all of you that took the time today. There is a survey that's going to launch as soon as I close the webinar. Would love your feedback. We're always looking for ideas for new topics and how you felt about this topic. So again, thank you all so much for joining us and look forward to talking to you later. Bye-bye.